Hey, it's your girl, Lexi Lewis.
And it's your girl, Amber Borzotra. And welcome back to another episode of Occasionally Perfect.
If you could actually sit down with a younger version of yourself, not just think about it, but really sit there, face to face, what would you say? Not the cute, polished advice, not the everything happens for a reason version. I'm talking about the real things, the things that you had to learn the hard way. Because I know that you've probably thought about this before, like, if I knew then what I knew now. But what is that actually? What would you say to yourself at 15, at 20, as a little girl? And if you're being honest, would you have even listened? Like, that's the part that really gets me is, if I came back and I told myself, would you do this? Would you even listen to yourself? I don't know.
For me, go now. I know I probably wouldn't listen.
If it was like, I'm the future you,
Yeah.
maybe I would listen.
Yeah, that's different.
But if it's just like some adult, maybe.
I feel like there's so many things that I wish I would have done differently
Yeah.
in my life. But then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, look where I'm at right now. Maybe I won't be here. So cliche. But
Yeah.
my younger self it was different. Like I feel like I had a fantasy mind already because I wasn't living in this perfect childhood or life or family. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. When I was 15, I used to wake up every morning and I had this full body mirror in my room. And I used to say, this is not my life. 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 I said it every day because I was just like, I know I'm supposed to be rich. I'm telling you, I remember one time my mom was like going back to school and she was like, we're going to go to Payless. And I'm like, I'm not going to Payless. She's like, do you think you're too good for Payless? And I said, yes.
I remember Payless.
Girl.
I used to shop at Payless all the time. Payless, Kmart.
Yeah. Oh,
Kmart.
Oh my God. Kmart is crazy.
Listen, my younger self was so traumatized about some things in life, but I think that there's a lot of things I would have done differently or wish I would have also not been so embarrassed about.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. I didn't always want to be fully myself, but if I can go back and tell my younger self one thing, it would be like, it would make me feel a little more softer, not so hard on myself.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say this is not an episode where we're going to just bash ourselves and be like, we were just dumb and stupid.
No.
And it's not a pity party, but it's just I know thoughts and stuff that we had that oh God, if we would have just had just this one little mindset shift or this one little push to go try this other thing, this is what that is. It's not, oh my God, my life's a regret. And I personally, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I would never change anything. There was definitely things I would go back and change if I could. If I could go back and still have my daughter, but change things, there's things I would definitely change. But that's not to say that, oh my God, everything was terrible and everything's, but we are going to dive into the things that I could have maybe done a little bit differently that myself right now would be really happy that if I did. Let's start with our childhood, like in childhood, little Amber.
Little Amber.
She's sitting there right now, and you're the mail woman, and you knock on the door because you got a package she has to sign, and you see this little cute girl, and you just felt like you should tell her something. What would you tell her?
I wish I would have been more confident even at the young age. I look at my daughter, I look at Sunny, and I'm like, yo, she has all the confidence. She is so,
she knows what she wants. She's very opinionated, this is how things should be.
Yes, and I love that about her, and I wish that was me. And that's the little self I would, but it's so cool to see my daughter because I was total opposite of that.
Yeah.
I was very quiet. I kept to myself. I was very afraid to do too much, say too much, So I just didn't want to cross any boundaries or hurt anyone or do anything wrong. That was kind of my mindset at that age.
In childhood, you were like that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, no, I was a little Sunny.
Yeah.
I was a little Sunny. I was definitely like, I always go back to sports to the point they're like, look out for the girl because it's all co-ed and I was a little monster. My mom would tell me, she's like, yeah, they would tell her, trip her. And I would go down and I would pop right back up. I remember in 5th grade in Miss Cancer's class learning about the Electoral College. And I was like, so we don't vote for the president? I remember in 6th grade, I had this racist teacher and we used to test her because my class was like all white kids. I went to a black school, but my specific class was all white kids. And I would wear a sweater wrong. And she was like, you need to wear your sweater the right way. And then I would switch it to a different way. And she's like, what is that, your comfort blanket? And I was like, yes, it is. And she was like, well, you need to put it on right. And I was like, well, just show me where in the rule book it says that I have to wear the sweater this specific way, and then I will. And then she would scream and yell. And I'm like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling?
Make her even more mad.
Like, I was so much, if rules don't make sense, I'm not doing it. Or you need to explain. I'm still like that now. I remember I went to a museum, and when I went, they're like, you need to turn your backpack around and put it in the front. And I was like, why can't we put our backpack in the front, but it can't be in the back? I was like, I'm not trying to be difficult. I just really need to understand why that's a thing. And they're like, oh, because when your backpack's in the back, you kind of turn and people hit the art sometimes. I'm like, oh, makes sense. I'll turn it around, you know? Like and because a lot of rules are like became a rule for some reason, but then times change and it doesn't even apply to whatever they're doing now. So yeah, I was always if this rule doesn't make sense.
You know who else is like that?
Huh?
Olivia.
She is.
She'd be like, why? So you can now when she says why, you have to look at your little
I know,
self.
because I'm like, she needs to just understand it. And then when I do explain it to her, she's like, okay, it does make sense. But if it doesn't make sense, she's like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think I had a mom though that she didn't like that to say, because it's kind of like, why are you always questioning everything? And I'm like, I just need to know. And so she'd always be like, just be nice, just be kind. And I was like, Mom, stand up for me. So I always felt like my mom didn't have my back in that way. I got into arguments with teachers and with people's parents, with coaches. And man, I was in honors classes. I was like a top awarded athlete, but I was just like, if the rule doesn't make sense, I'm just not blindly following it. I've always been like that. And yeah, my mom was like, why are you so difficult? I'm like, why is there these stupid rules? I don't know. We all got questions, I guess.
See, and I was told the opposite. I wish I broke rules. When we were talking about this, I guess, doing this episode, I said that. I was like, I wish I was a rule breaker. Yeah. I wish I was the one who was like, okay, I want to skip class. I want to go sneak out of my house and meet up with my friends. I want to, I don't know, like. I
know, but I feel like there's a downside too, because I also feel like, no, but seriously, I think I was just too curious. The why doesn't stop. It's like, why is things like this? Why is things like this? And I think that's the bad side of it for me. When people were always like, oh, I grew up fast, to me, it was just because I'm too curious and I didn't have a person. I don't remember sitting down with my mom and having conversations about life and relationships with friendships or picking out what you want to do with your life. I didn't have heart to heart with my mom. So I think having that curiosity and stuff, I was too ready to have anybody tell me something. Yeah. So I listened to it. Even I think of my early dating. I'm like, oh my God, I had such stupid things happen to me when I was young in relationships because I was just looking for someone that was going to give me advice. And guys are like, you should do this or you should. I'm like, oh my. When I think about things that I did when I was young and even losing virginity and stuff, I'm like, ooh, that stuff was way too young. But I was just curious and I didn't have a person that was talking to me about stuff. And so that's one thing that I wish I find your curiosity in books. Like, girl, like read more books that are telling you things and not people that are your peers that are freaking retarded. Because I definitely did things where I'm like, I should not have been doing that. Because
like what?
Because I'm just losing virginity too young, and not even in losing virginity outside of that, even just relationships with, I think of guys. This is more teen, not obviously not when I was 8 or 9, but in my teen years, I think about guys. My dad wasn't in the house. I didn't really have I had coaches that I kind of considered father figures, like were really pushing me to be focused in my sport or whatever, but they weren't teaching me about dating and stuff like that. And so when guys proposed stupid things, I'd be like, yeah, okay. And I just thought that they had my best interest at heart because the women in my life had the best interest at heart and they had their best interest at heart. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think there's a downside of being I know what I want at a young age without having proper guidance. But also, thank God I have thick skin because I could bounce back through it and not really care. Because it could be a downside of people that aren't strong-willed. I could have went through some things and they'd be like, I'm just an optimist, bitch. I'm like, I'm alive. Yeah. Don't do that again.
I get that.
Might not have been the best decision.
You're still here. That's all that matters.
We made it. All right, don't do that.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
don't do that.
One thing that I am really bad at that I brought into my adult life is
From when?
just childhood,
Mm.
is being chosen in relationships, friendships, work, all of that. I need to stop proving. I need to stop overgiving.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I need to slow down with and kind of pump the brakes on because it eats me up.
Yeah.
Just I don't know where that also
Being
comes
validated from other people.
Yeah, just
I
in a
mean, girl,
way.
I'm a middle child Leo, so I need attention too. So I definitely, to me, that was what sports were. It was like, I'm really good at sports.
I think mine was more from not being really seen from an
Yeah,
early age.
I
Like,
didn't. That's what I'm saying. As a middle child,
no family. Like I would even do sports, like all of that, and no one would
Well,
be
no,
there.
exactly.
And it was like I'm like, why not me? Why am I not enough? Why am I not sure? But then I have to look back now. And my mom was working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
I didn't have any family other
Yeah.
than my mom really to show up. So life was just different, but I brought that into my adult life. And
Well, that reminds me because when I was 8, I had this it was one of my favorite birthday parties of my life when I was 8. I have a summer birthday, so we just rented a pavilion, and then we had a piñata, and my mom's friend had canoes, and so we were turtle catching, and we got 20, 30 turtles. We took them all out, and we were racing. It was so fun, and everyone in my grade came. And we got to school on Monday, and I forgot to invite my best friend. And she was like, why didn't you invite me? And I was so worried about having this big party and showing everyone that I was going to have a fun party that I neglected the person that I do everything with. And that's something that I realized was a pattern for me too, is that when people like me already, I'm like, oh, I don't got to win you over. I want everyone to like me. So I'm like, okay, why don't you love me? So now I'm going to show you why you should love me. And I neglected her. And so that's one thing that I'm learning which this has definitely followed me in dating, was just, why don't you like me when everyone likes me, and trying to prove that, oh, you should like me because I'm amazing. And I will do everything to try to get someone to like me. And then some people just don't fucking like you.
right.
And, just getting out of that yearning to get that attention or whatever, that definitely started for that age for me too. And I don't know why. But I mean, I think partially is because I'm like, I don't understand why you don't like me.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a parent that was like, people don't need to like you.
Yeah.
I feel like having that conversation, I just didn't have. Did you ever have to sit down conversations that were not about emotions and you know what I mean?
It was more, me and my mom were literally like best friends. It was more of, oh, what's the tea or what's this or what's that. But
like gossip, but not like, this
but
is
it
how
was,
life is.
It was kind of in the moment stuff. Like it was never
like a life lesson.
Yeah. We didn't talk about sex. We didn't talk about periods. We didn't talk about boys, that kind of thing. Like it was just roll with the punches and see where life takes me.
I don't ever remember breaking down and being like, okay, I want to tell my mom what's happening. And that sucks. I wish I would have. I don't even know that I tried though. So I wonder, obviously I didn't feel.
She try?
I mean, obviously, I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't remember her. And I think it's part of how she was raised. I just think that she's like, this is parents and this is kids. I wish like I could just tell my younger self, like, just go to your mom sometime. She does know something.
Do you think that that's why, because I see how you are with Liv, like even the books and the like talks and the check-ins, and that's healthy and it's so important. And do you think you do that because it's something you missed out on?
Oh, 100%.
And you just want to make sure that
100%.
So that's something that your little self is now
your
own child.
Yeah, because I think my younger self and all the versions of myself was looking for that person that like I never had like a mentor or just someone to confide in. So, oh my God, tears. I didn't have anyone to confide in, or at least not that I felt safe to or that I'd want to. So I definitely want to be my daughter's first person. I want her to be like, oh, I can call my mom. I'm like, no, my mom, I'm gonna call my mom and check. Like I really want that relationship because I think it's so important for every person to have someone that they can confide in and like just tell stuff to. I will say when I was like 16, I had my Coach Bear, shout out to Coach Bear. I was 16. I went through a phase. I read Malcolm X's book. I didn't like white people this year. It was like a thing. And my mom was white, so that was not great. And and so I would cry at school in Bay Area. He had like this little back room in the computer lab, and he'd like let me go cry in it, and I would talk to him. So that was probably my first time that I had someone that I could just like tell stuff to. And with him, that was interesting because I mean, Bear is white as well, so there goes my not liking white people. But it was like 16 is already that kind of age where you are questioning, like, well, how do I identify? Like, everyone goes through it. But I think also being mixed and having a white mom and identifying as a Black woman, or mixed, but I'm not white. And then having racial things happening in society and with my friends going to jail and stuff. And I just felt I don't know how to talk to her about it. And it's not even that, I don't even think she knew how to talk to me about it. She's like, what do you mean? You got problems because you're Black. You're my daughter. You know what I mean? I don't think that she sees me as a Black woman, you know? And I think that was the first time that when I was 16 that I was like, oh, my mama really can't help me with this. And I didn't feel that I could talk to her. I wish that my younger self would have leaned into my dad's side of the family more. My dad comes from 14 kids. I have 7, 8 aunts, and he's the baby of those 14 kids. So I have cousins that are all basically aunts and uncles. I wish I would have went to them because I didn't. And I wish I could go. I'm like, just go to your Black side. And I hung out with my cousins and stuff. But yeah, I never looked for a Black woman in my family to like get close with to help me navigate whatever racial things I was feeling. And like, I wish that's one thing.
I'm the same way. I didn't, I don't think I embraced that side, the Black side of my family.
Well,
at
I
a
did.
younger age
I
at all.
embraced them as my family, but I don't think I embraced them as
Building a
you can help me
relationship.
navigate being a Black person in the world, you know? Because I don't want to say that my mom raised me to not see color, but again, I just don't think that she thought I'm raising a Black a woman. I'll ask her and I'll like let you guys know later, but I don't think that she's ever thought like, oh, I'm gonna have Black kids. Like, you know, she's just like, that's my babies.
Right.
You know, I'm just her baby. So I never thought to go to Black women in my family and be like, so what's
I just
it
didn't
like?
have did you have that relationship to where you were close to them?
I mean, I have older cousins and I was close enough. I feel like where like if I would have just thought to, but I just didn't look to them as people to go to. And I think it kind of is morphed with your mom and your dad of how you relate to people. So a lot of kids don't go to adults. I never look to adults, look to peers or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or to myself, I'm like, I'll figure it out because I'm very headstrong. I'm like, I'll figure out why. And so I'm very trial and error. I wish I would have went to someone else to just tell me what you did. So this is what this episode is. Listen to like my old self because I didn't listen to, I don't think I was looking for someone else to tell me. I think I was just looking to figure it out by myself. That's what I think more than anything.
You kind of had to. It's like your mom didn't grow up mixed, you know?
But I did. I could have went to family, but I didn't even think to. I was like, oh.
You're just now thinking that.
I literally thought about this right now.
You're like, dang, if I would have went back
I never would have thought
opened up,
that.
maybe this would have been different or that would have been different.
Yeah, I definitely would tell myself like, girl,
were they in the same town as you?
Yeah.
See, I had my Black side of my family, they not even close, like same town.
Yeah.
Didn't really have much of my mom's side of the family. Didn't really have many Black people in my school.
Yeah.
So it was very opposite. It was so crazy how like our worlds are like alike but opposite.
Yeah. I lived in a very mixed place. Like it was very Black and white and you Mexicans.
Hola. Well, gosh, as a teen, oh my goodness, I was so lost. I was lost in so many ways as a teenager. First, I was like, oh, I like boys, and I was like, oh, I really like boys. Like, what's kissing? What's this? But I didn't have my mom to go, what's sex? Like, I didn't have my mom or even my dad. I wouldn't even have that comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable even like, I would talk to my younger sister and she didn't even know anything, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Even when I started my period, I went to my sister. She held my hand and went to my mom with me and told her I started my, while I'm sitting there as the middle person, because I didn't know how to even approach it. I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to be like, I'm bleeding and I have a crime scene in my panties. How do I fix this? Like,
I didn't have a conversation. I had my period when I was 10, and we had literally the 4th grade had just had like, this is what's going to be happening to you soon. Like 2 weeks later, I started my period. I was at my friend's house who lived down the street from us. And I told her mom, and her mom gave me a pad. And then I told my mom, and she didn't have a conversation with me. She just bought some pads and tampons and just gave them to me. And I was like, thanks. And
did you read the directions?
girl, the first time I wore tampons, I didn't take the plastic part out. I just had the whole shit in there.
Stuck in there?
And I was like, these are really uncomfortable. And then the second period, my sister told me, she's like, you got to push it out. And I'm like, oh my God.
That's the first time you...
The first period, the whole period, I
Oh
didn't
my
take the applicator
God.
out. I didn't know to. And girl, I was 10.
I was afraid of tampons.
Oh my God.
I didn't wear a tampon for, not even in high school. I was like, my mom made me think like, oh, if you're wearing tampons,
You lost your virginity.
You lost your virginity and all
God,
that stuff.
so
That was like,
Tennessee.
it's so Tennessee. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wear tampons. So I remember cheering and like having to roll up toilet paper sometimes because it was so...
Yeah, I can't imagine playing volleyball.
And then I'm like, okay, I can't even kick my leg like all the way up, you know, when you're cheering.
like, higher, Amber.
No.
Aww.
It was just so bad because I didn't even have anyone at school, a close friend, I'm telling you, that I could go to.
Yeah.
I had a very awkward teenage high school. It's like I was trying to fit in so many ways. Oh, do I want to play sports? Oh, is there a club? I'm not smart enough to do this. No, I can't do that. My mind was just always messing with me. But then when we get into our adult life, it made me realize, okay, I found out in my 30s, I'm diagnosed as autistic. I have depression. I have a lot of anxiety. Like I have things I never even sought help for.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I only went to the hospital or the doctor or whoever. You break a bone or you're not getting better.
You've been 103 for 3 days.
Yes, now go to the doctor.
You got chickenpox. Something.
Yeah. Like mental health was even chickenpox.
Oh yeah, mental health was not even a conversation that was had at all.
No, and it's so crazy. Like it's even like talking about, you said you have chickenpox. You don't go nowhere. You go out back. They rub you up on something, and it's just like, oh, this is what it is. Like, it's mental health, like that part, and even like now that I am older and I've went through the whole process of figuring out more of myself, I look at my little self now and be like, that's what that was.
Like, aw.
Yeah. And I'm not so hard on her anymore.
Yeah.
Because I was so hard on her. I was very hard on her to the point where I was like, I want to be the biggest star in the world one day. I want to, like make everyone happy, make my parents happy. I want to just be something because I didn't feel like anything and I felt like I had nobody. Especially when you do grow up fast. Like I want my mom not my mom, but of course I want my mom to be proud and happy, but I want my sister, my younger sister at the time. I felt like she's just really the only one I grew up with. Like she's the one that knows everything about me. No one knows as much as she knows about me, because we went through that together. And I
Get you just I can't really get it out where the angle is. Here, you got.
No, it's okay. I think that I get mad at myself sometimes because I wish that I would have had a different life. And I know I really shouldn't think like that because I love my parents, my siblings, and all of that. But there are things I would have done different. I would have lived my life a little bit more when I was younger. I would have had more fun. I wouldn't have taken it so serious of like, oh, I have to take care of my sister, but I can't be a kid too, And I'm mad at myself that I missed out on that. And it makes me want to do, like, even Sunny, she's only 2. And I'm like, what can I get her into?
Yeah.
how can I get her to see all of her family and travel the world and play sports and do all these things so soon? Because I used to look at other families and be like, they have it made. They're driving the soccer mom car and
Oh my
they can
God,
play
my
any
mom had a really
sport. They
raggedy
have
van, and I used to
my mom did
hide.
too.
I used to hide. I remember my
Yeah.
friend, she was like, "Why are you ducking?" 'Cause she's like, "Are you embarrassed as your mom?" I'm like, she actually was mixed as well, and she was embarrassed that she had a white mom. I was like, "No, I'm embarrassed of this van."
Are you embarrassed of your mom too?
I'm like, "No, my mom's cool, but the van is like blue and rusty." And
Oh, my mom had a red one.
you
She
know,
loved that thing though.
some people talk about they don't realize
Yeah.
that they were poor, and I was like, no, I knew I was poor, and I knew I was supposed to be rich. I was involved in so many
Everything.
things.
Yeah.
I feel like whatever you could sign up for, my mom was like, do you want to do
Just
this?
do
And I was
it.
like, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really interesting because all of my other siblings didn't do anything. I did everything. I was so ready
wanted to
for
be
life.
out.
I've always been like, I'm going to experience life literally my whole life. And so my mom definitely got me signed up to things. And then after I found teammates, like I got to beat the things. So my mom couldn't go, but my teammates would be like, oh, we're taking her. And then, so I'd be off with teammates, parents, whatever. And I always hated that, my mom couldn't be there. And I'd be like, oh, I'm like the star of the team. And everyone else's people's parents are holding up signs for me and stuff. And I'm like, but my mom isn't. Ugh. And so I feel the same way why I want to be famous. I'm like, well, if everyone's going to cheer me on, I'm going to make my family cheer me on.
Yeah.
And it's actually, they say the best sign of childhood is if your kid doesn't want to be famous. That means that they don't seek validation from anything. And I'm like, well, I want to be a star. So there you go. I need validation.
I just wanted to, I wanted to be, I would just see, I never traveled. I never went on vacations.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything but a small town in Tennessee. And so I would see things on television. Oh, Disney World. Oh, Florida. Oh, and then you would hear about people coming back from spring break. And I don't even know what spring break is. I know how to go run in fields and barefoot and just enjoy the sun. Like,
No, I went to the movies, and I would sit at the movies, and I would watch like 3 movies, and I would just sit in the movies and imagine being in different worlds.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, you can go do this, you can do. I didn't watch movies like, oh, that was entertaining. I watched like, ooh, I could be a biker.
Yeah.
Or, ooh, I could be a sailor. That's probably even why I like sci-fi so much right now. Is this, again, me, that 15-year-old, 16-year-old in the mirror talking about this isn't my life, this isn't my life. I just imagine what my life could be. That's constantly. And yeah, my mom dedicated simple man to my brother, just being content with little things. My mom is so content with just simple life, and I've always been like, give me more.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But in a way of like, I'm just so curious.
But
And we have
you've lived
one
that
life.
simple life already with your parent.
And I
feel
love
that.
simple things. I love going camping. I love being in nature, but it's more like on my day-to-day, I could very much live in a small town and do stuff, but there's just so much in life to experience. Well, I think I just have a explorer spirit, like there's just one life. We have a days that we could just do things. Like, why not? Why not make this life enjoyable and fun,
Yeah.
And yeah, little me was just so ready. And my mom was just like, did not get it.
Yeah, no,
She did not get it. She was just like, you just want so much. I'm like, yeah, I do.
My mom got it when I was like 15, and I would want magazines, and I would try modeling like every model in there, and I would be practicing. That's when I signed my first modeling agents with my first contract. I was 15 years old, signed with Elite in Atlanta, and I was getting gigs, but I would have to sometimes take a Greyhound. I would have to, I was getting there. Like it was a drive, but I that's when I was just like, I don't want this. I can always come back here to this small town, but that I was so hungry for
Something
what I
else.
was seeing. I knew that there was something more out there. When I got out,
Yeah.
I did not go back. I love to visit, but it's so crazy to see nothing changes. Sometimes things just go backwards. So
Yeah, I actually really love my teen and early 20s self. There's a lot I love, because I was just locked in. But it was really the boys thing. It's interesting because I had a very packed schedule. So, I mean, I had practice before school, then I had school, then I would have another practice, and then I had practice for my travel team. So it's pretty much from 5:30 to 9, locked in. As soon as I get home from club, do homework for an hour, go to bed like clockwork. I didn't have free time. So between each season, because I was a 3-sport athlete, between each season I had a week and a half where I'd be like, I'm free for a week and a half. And then I'm like, boys. And I just didn't get them. I'm cute, I'm in shape. Honestly, I did not need to have the body that I had at 17. It was amazing. It was like so good. And I was just like, boys. And I just didn't, again, not being raised with my dad or having really a male figures. And I was just so yay boys. But thankfully I had sports because I didn't even really have time. There was like in my sophomore year, everyone started getting pregnant. And thankfully, as much as I really sucked with boys and like being too fast, but I didn't have time to be as fast as like my hormones were. The hormones would have had me doing crazy. I just still did crazy stuff, but I only did it like a week and a half out of every year. So I had like about 5 weeks a year where I was turned up. But if I didn't have sports, I would have been pregnant at a very early age.
You think?
100%. It was like a fashion trend. It was like, everyone's wearing bell bottoms, everyone with this, everyone's pregnant. When I was 16, like everyone got pregnant at my school. My school was fights and pregnancy.
The fights were over?
No, it was just separate. Like there was fights and there was people that were pregnant. It was just like, it was that. There was just nothing to do. And then, but luckily, again, I had sports. And luckily I had one every season because otherwise it would have been bad.
We would be in a different situation.
So that's one thing she did right. She stayed in sports and stayed busy because I definitely knew that I wanted to get out of Indiana. And sports was, at that time, the way that I was going to get out of Indiana. So.
That was what you thought, like going into college? 100%. You played sports in college?
100%. No. I got randomly selected by a wealthy benefactor.
Your fake grandma?
My fake grandma. My dad married this woman when I was 2. Her parents, for some reason, adopted my sister when I was 15. Then they were rich as shit. And I went to their house the first time. They have like hundreds of millions of dollars. I went to their house. I remember at that time it was like $6 million. The house now is like $25 million house. Mind you, at this time I'm living in a trailer park. So I go to their house and I'm like, what? And then my sister's living with them. And then when the next summer came along, it was like before my junior year, my sister called me and she's like, do you want to go to boarding school? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, wait, you want to go? She's like, oh, we were talking about last year, but they thought you were going to say no. I'm like, no, let's go. I remember my grandma wrote a check for my school and it was for $36,000. And she just handed them the check. And I was like, and then that day we went shopping for my stuff. And then she was like, okay, well, then I had $2,000 for in school per month stuff. And on campus, everything's provided for you. So she gave me $2,000 a month for literally, I bought school sweatshirts. I bought everything in the store. And then she gave me another $2,500 for to go out stuff. And you can only go off campus on Saturday and Sunday.
So you were
I was
saving
rich.
it.
I had $5,000 a month, $4,500 a month that I didn't have to pay any bills.
Yeah.
And I was making more than my mom now,
Just
doing
going to
nothing.
school.
Me and my friend Corliss, on the weekends, I was 17. On the weekends, I started, Lil Wayne went on tour and I started flying my sister, friends. We would fly. If Lil Wayne was on tour that night, we would fly to the city. We would stay at bed and breakfast because we couldn't get hotels because we weren't 18 yet. It was like, I don't know. I was literally like a whole, I've always said that I'm from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's the same thing that happens. And I don't know, but little me was, I always said that as much as I woke up every day like, this isn't my life, and I was working my ass off, and I thought it was going to be sports. I think that energy kind of summoned them. I thought it was going to be sports that got me out, and it ended up being them, but I think the energy was like, you're getting out somehow.
Yeah.
And because I was busting my ass. I mean, I'm telling you, from 5:30 to 9, like clockwork, I was in it. And that's one thing that I really love about myself. She was determined and locked in. And I go back to, you kind of mentioned it with being diagnosed and stuff later. There was little moments in school where I noticed that I had ADHD, but I didn't notice that much because I was so active in so many things. People always like, you can't do all those things. And I could. It was perfect environment for my ADHD. It was 3 months of, we have a goal, we're going to get a championship, so I could focus on that sport. But then I also had pep club, then I also had choir, then I also had band. And so I was so stimulated, and I had a schedule, and they told you exactly what they wanted from you. So it was a thriving environment. And so I'm even now being finally diagnosed with ADHD and knowing it, I'm trying so hard to get back locked into a schedule like that because I was elite then.
You
Because
thrive in that.
I need variety and I need hard schedules.
Routine.
But
yeah.
routine with variety. Because after 3 months, it's like, okay.
Girl,
this
I'm
shit
like that.
is
I'll be taking, like, I
too
used to go to
repetitive.
work. I'd be like, okay, I got to take the long way now. I can't be looking at the same trees every day. It's like, you do need variety.
You need variety. But I think having that new sport every 3 months, because that 3 months is really the thing too.
Right when it hits.
But then I also had clubs that were kind of like lower commitment than my sport was, but it was still like something else to kind of, this month is kind of boring in basketball, you know? And like locking us, I wish I could have been like, okay, girl, you have ADHD and take this over. That's one thing if we want to dive into like our 20-year-old selves, because at 20, I lost all structure. I go to college, full-time college is till 12. Classes are 9 to 12 when you're full-time. Then it's just like, all right. And then I got scholarship for academics, so I was like, I'm not playing sports. My senior year, I had both my ankles taped, my knee was taped, my hip was taped, my hip was taped, my wrists were taped. And I was talking to my coaches, they're like, oh, where do you want to go? And I'm like, I'm rich now. I don't. Oh my God. I was playing sports to get out. I was like, I'm already out. So I started, in high school, I started taking acting classes once my grandparents started doing it, I did start taking acting classes. I loved acting. And then, I'm like, I'm not playing sports. I'm not about to, sports in college is even more dedication. I was ready to try new things. And I also had the support to try new things. And I didn't know that I needed structure. I did not know how
You never had structure.
I always had structure.
Or in sport.
No, but I had structure because it was my daily life. Like you go to my whole, even in school, you have your passing periods. The classes are 45 minutes. Like my whole day, I'm switching, I'm going somewhere.
Your whole childhood. And then
so then you get 20 and you're just like, class is done at 12, see you at 9 in the morning. You're like, ooh, I got a lot of free time. I didn't have the same allowance, but I still had a little bit of allowance. I had to work 2 hours in the gym. But otherwise, I'm like, yeah, I had a lot of free time. Shit. And then the ADD just took over.
I think that your early adult life, just for me, I look at myself and I'm like, I wish I would have not. I used to think that I had to follow a certain path. I used to think that by this age I needed to be married. I had kids. I had to have a college
married.
Right. Had to have a college degree because that's what everyone was doing where I was from. And so I'm the same way. Like when I decided I'm not staying here, I'm gonna go live in Australia. Like I went to Australia for a year. Then I come back and I moved
after
to LA.
high school.
Well, not right after. I stayed and went to college. I tried that.
Too much freedom.
For a few years. Yeah, for a few years. And it was just like this place sucks. Like I just did not want to, I didn't feel it. Like but I went to Los Angeles, and that's when
how old were you?
This is like 2013.
So 24?
2012. Yeah, somewhere around there is when I very first went there, and I was like thinking I was a grown girl. Like grown.
Yeah, girl. I went when I was 20, so I already know.
And I thought, okay, I get my own place, I have my own car. Then I'm sitting here having this dream and realizing I'm doing adult stuff now. Like now I don't have a family. I don't know. I wasn't taught anything to now know.
Like I gotta pay bills.
I didn't know anything about investing. Bank. I only knew how to have a checking account and a debit card, and hopefully don't make it overdraft. That's all I knew going to.
I remember signing for I got my first apartment when I was 20, and I remember my grandma's assistant being like, my rent was $12.50, and she's like, "Are you sure you can handle that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I had no idea. I was like, duh. I'm like, it's $12.50. I was like, that's nothing. Like that in my head, it was nothing. And for 2.5 years, I paid that because this is pre-Uber and all the gig economy did not exist yet. But I remember people worrying about like, how are you gonna pay it? And I'm like, what do you mean? You just pay it? Like, I didn't even think. I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and my grandparents gave me 6 months. And then, I was just like, they're like, this is all you have. And I'm like, all right, I'll be a star by then. So
And you figured it out though, didn't you?
I
were in
did.
LA for how long?
I did, but 14 years.
See, I was right a little under that.
Yeah, but I'm as much as I did figure it out, I wish I would have got a roommate. Although I ended up having a roommate because there's always someone that needs to live with you in LA.
This is better that way.
It is kind of, it's like mine, but you can stay, but like if you get
Yeah.
weird, because the bitches were weird too, and I ended up needing to go. But thank you for not being weird, Amber.
You're welcome.
But yeah, little 20-year-old me. I think because the freedom that I had that I never really had before, I got into guys a lot. Like a little bit of you where, oh, you gotta start having relationships and getting with someone. And I think because I didn't have, as much as I know I wanted to be a star and I wanted to work on projects, it really shifted from career to being in a relationship and trying to figure out how to make that work. And as much as I moved to LA with the cause in mind, I definitely got more, I want to find someone to date and have a relationship. And that became primary focus. If I look back on dating the type of people that I dated, I think it would be easy to be like, oh, like, I wasn't even thinking of someone taking care of me. I was thinking, I want to be in a relationship. I always kind of envisioned my relationship with a man was going to be we were going to be a partnership and we were going to build this thing together. And I didn't realize that the type of people that I dated, everybody was looking at them like, what can I get from you? And they just were looking at me like, you're just cute. And I don't even try I'm gonna invest in little as you gonna ask me. And I wasn't even asking. I was like, I'm not gonna ask her anything.
Oh, did that not eat you up when you probably should
Girl,
have
that's
asked?
my number one lesson to 20-year-old me is run these niggas up. Get that money, bitch. I am so sick of the relationships. I was like, I don't want to ask for anything. Like, what?
Yeah.
They expect it. And I'm so sick that I just was like dating the kind of people that I did where I was just like, oh, they probably really like me because I'm not asking them for anything. Yeah, bitch, so they can have more bitches. Like, okay, you can stay along all along. You're pretty cheap. You don't really want nothing. You want $12.50.
Oh my God.
Oh my
so
God.
funny.
It was, yeah.
Boys was like that with me though.
Yeah.
And I think I met you kind of fairly not too long after I moved there.
Yeah, I think like second year. You probably there 2 years by the time when I met you.
Yeah, I was kind of a little, you saw my boy situation too. Like at some time, it wasn't that bad.
I'm like, you real hush hush.
It wasn't that bad. It was hush hush, but like I was kind of the same. I would kind of prioritize sometimes that over like why I was really
and
there.
I would try to help. I would like think of ways. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try to help them and stuff. These motherfuckers got assistants,
everything,
plural, and like they got a whole team, and I'm trying to help them more. I don't need to. No, I should have just been sitting passenger side, worried about being cute, and you figure out, give me a team. Like, like I was so worried about that, and I'll never forget. I moved to LA with this idea that Jamie Foxx or Will Smith was going to be my mentor. That was in my head. I met Jamie my second week, and he pitched me for my first commercial. All my friends were writing on Jamie's album, so I don't know. I got to be close with him, and
we hung out with Jamie together.
Jamie was like my big brother, and he loves Leos. Like sisters are Leos. Like all his friends are Leos. So he's like, you're a Leo, and maybe like the second month I was around him, because again all my friends were working on his album, and one day his girlfriend was drunk. He was like, I need someone to come with me to take her home. And I was like, I'll come. So we drop her off and we're talking, whatever. And he was like, oh, so what's your, I was like, honestly, I moved here and I just wanted you to be my mentor. And he was like, all right, I got you. And I was like, okay. And so then, like I said, he pitched me for my first stuff. And then he started introducing everyone. Like I'm in LA in 6 months and Jamie's taking me to meetings and he's like, yeah, this is my little sister. And like, he's just introducing me and I am it. And at this time, I don't know. I had this thing in my head when I was in my last semester of college. And everyone's like, it's all about who you know. And I was like, well, I'm going to know everybody. And I literally met the most lit people. And Jamie sat me down one day and he was like, you got to pick your camp. He's like, you know everybody, you have the connections, like you need to lock in. And the person I chose was someone that I was so obsessed with romantically, that was the one person that did the least for me. He showed consistently, and I had that little 8-year-old me that was just trying to impress everyone to be like, why don't you like me? Like, everyone else thinks I'm so dope. Why? And he thought I was dope enough. Like, he talked kindly, but his actions didn't match.
Yeah.
And I stuck with the person that I had to prove myself so much for. And I did. I wrote music with him, and I have songs with him, but I didn't even want to do music. And Jamie was right there, the pinnacle of what I want to do, and I didn't choose to be in their camp and go hard with them because of a fucking man. Ugh.
There's so many things that we do because
you're in love.
Let me just...
Girl, I will say one time he told me, I was like, I just feel like I have so much love to give you. And he was like, well, give it to yourself. And I was like, ugh, what? But he was so right. He was so right. I wish I would have prioritized myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm a kind person, and if I would have prioritized myself, I would have been able to help more people. I would have been able to do more things. But
probably both of us probably would have been further along.
I mean, I did. I got that assault happened to me when I was 21, and that definitely was my first thing, because I was doing a pageant, and being a pageant girl was so outside of me. I was not cutesy. Like, I said, I had a nice body, but I didn't see myself as a girly girl, and I didn't know how to do my makeup. So getting assaulted right before that happened, that was like my first time, like, I'm trying something new. So that was definitely scary, and that knocked my confidence down. And then going through that alone, I think I wish I would have told him. I just was like, okay, let's keep going. Like, I don't think I really processed it. I wish I would have gotten to therapy after that, because I didn't realize that was the first time in my life where I didn't complete something that I started. And there's so many things I haven't completed since then, which I have grace on myself now a little bit, because I do realize that part of it was because I didn't have structure with my ADHD. But I also know a lot of it was fear. And I was so scared to do the pageant. I was so scared.
So you just didn't do it at all?
No, I was assaulted 2 weeks before it, and I had a busted head. And
why did I think that happened after?
No, it was 2 weeks before. So I was already terrified to do the pageant.
Yeah.
And so I literally, part of me felt like I summoned this assault because I was so scared to do this new thing. And you just
brought that energy in.
And I think, I don't think that at all anymore, but I kind of put that into myself. And I wish I would have went to therapy after. But no one even suggested it. The adults, my grandparents, and my mom, I'm like, how did they not check on me? How do you have your 20-year-old girl that just literally gets beat, wakes up in the hospital with staples and everything, and how are you not checking on her constantly? I remember I asked my grandparents that too. I was like, hey, can you help me with my rent? They're like, okay, well, you have to pay me back. My $1,250 rent. Mind you, these people have like hundreds of millions of dollars, and I literally just got beat, and you're telling me like, okay, well, you're gonna have to pay me. I'm like, kind of why I say I kind of weaned off of them. But that was crazy, and I wish I would have had someone to be like, go to therapy, you know? And I wish I had a friend that would have pushed me to do the pageant the next year and be like, you know what, they robbed this of you, do it. And even if I didn't have a friend, I wish my old self would have just did it, because that fear, I feel like I internalized, and it kind of made me fear to do a lot of things. Yeah.
But with your younger self, or when you're saying it, what you made me vision was your little, maybe 6, even 7, 8-year-old self laying there as in your 20-year-old body, 21-year-old body, beat up and still needing that human or that person or that family.
Like, I'm here. Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how
I
as
can't
adults
imagine,
we still need that?
But I can't imagine being 21. I would have flew out there and like there's just her. I can't imagine that you're just, first of all, being in 20 in LA is crazy.
It is. You think you're so grown out there.
Oh my God. Yeah. And but then getting beat and like no one, I mean, my sister drove up from San Diego for a day. But yeah, it was just, that was really crazy. That was the thing that made me be like, oh, I'm out here by myself. It made me really feel like it's me against the world.
Yeah.
That was definitely, I wish that I would have been known that it's like, no, those are the people who just weren't your people, because they were just using you for access to everyone that you had, and find your people that are your people. That's really what I wish. There's so many people in my life that showed they were there for who I was around, and I wish I would have held on to the people that showed that, no, I have stuff for you. I can talk you up, and I didn't. I was that person that's, oh, I got to prove that I have worth, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. And
It's interesting though, because in my head, I know it so much, but in my actions, I'm like, I'm around people that I got to prove it to though.
yeah, that's what I was saying that like earlier. We got to stop proving like,
Oh, I'm past this.
yeah.
Oh, I'm past this. I want to be around people that I can spoil because I know they're going to spoil me back with energy. If anyone acts kind of weird about them, I'm like, I don't know. You don't celebrate me enough. And I don't want to be around people that I can't celebrate either. If I kind of feel like you're not really as though, I don't want to be around you either because you should have somebody that fuck with you all the way.
Yeah.
And if I can't fuck with you all the way, should I be around you?
Yeah, and your worth isn't something you should have to audition for. I'm very happy with where my life is and my friend group. And even my mom now, like I had the best time with her this past week. And I'm finally seeing like it's so crazy because
she had a lot of trauma and stuff.
She had so much trauma, but her little self regretting things. And not even that, her little self as a 20-something-year-old with me being like, well, let me do this now because I didn't do that before.
Yeah.
You know, and then I see her setting stuff up for my daughter because she wasn't able to do that for me at her age. And
it's so healing.
it is healing.
I think I'm not a grandparent yet, and I'm sure there's going to be things I mess up on, but even in having a child, it heals part of your inner child. That's how my mom is with Livia too. And they usually say that grandparents are cooler with their grandkids. But I go back to my younger self, and I was really hard on my mom because I didn't see my mom's battles as, you know, you don't see your parents as human until you're an adult. I said some mean things to my mom when I was 16. Yeah. And I really regret it. I mean, I hold both spaces of she wasn't providing me what I needed, and that can be true, while also realizing that she has this younger version of her that she just didn't know stuff.
Yeah.
So I can acknowledge that, oh, I didn't get what I needed, but also I feel bad because, I mean, she was divorced with 2 kids by 21. Both his parents were dead, her parents were dead. Oh. And I'm like, I can't imagine. All 4 grandparents die in a year and a half, 2 years of each other. You have 2 kids, your husband's off in the Gulf War, and you don't communicate for months. Her whole pregnancy with me, they didn't talk.
You don't have cell phones and stuff
there's
either.
No cell phones. Yeah. Like, he was on a black ops.
You have to write.
Girl, they didn't talk to my whole pregnancy. He came back when I was a couple months old, and she was like, you know.
Wow.
And on top of that, in that time, his parents passed, her dad passed, and she's in California, left Indiana, and she's all by herself this place. There's no way for me to process that. And when I think about that, I'm like, oh my God. I have so much more sympathy when I'm like, because I'm like, I don't think I could have handled what you went through.
Yeah.
Like, especially I think about people being a solo parent to multiple kids. Oh my God. With the amount of money that she was making.
$22,000.
I'm so thankful I always had a roof over my head. But I'm like, how did I live?
Off
That's
that beef stroganoff and that hamburger helper. That butter bread. That's how you survive.
Butter bread, hamburger. Oh my God. That was just nostalgia. Oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah, we got to make our kids one day one of those like.
Live like that. I made her hamburger helper last year. She was like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
It is good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Struggle meals.
Struggle meals.
I don't know how we survived though, but we did. I would definitely change things. If me could go back and change things, as long as I could still have Liv, I would definitely. People like, I no, it made me. Nah, I think I really, even now, I'm in a space where I'm really trying to look for mentors because I realize it's a common theme where I don't have anyone where I can look up to. Life is literally just lessons and things that you can learn, and you can learn from other people. And just to have someone guiding you, like, don't step there.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm seeing this before it's happening. No, I like where I'm at right now in life, though. And if we're doing a full circle, I would have changed some stuff too. I would have changed a lot. I would have changed how I spoke to myself. Yeah. I would have changed how I looked at myself with confidence and not have been as shy. Like, I was such a quiet little human. Yeah. And just felt like I couldn't do anything wrong.
You're actually kind of quiet now though too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're like around people, but like if you're in a big setting, nah.
No, big settings in me don't do well.
Anxiety.
Oh,
if you gotta perform, you'll kick it on. Like you have you could do it, but
I'm the kind of person I'll do what I gotta do. Give me an hour tops. And I'm Let's go. Sneaking out the back door. No one's gonna know who leaving.
Yeah. Again, I go back towards my teenage self. I really loved her and I think what I'm just realizing in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, oh, it's because she had structure, so she could be all the parts of her that she wanted to be. And it's good to go back on your older self, and it's like, okay, why am I how I am? And is it because this is my nature? Is this because of what I was around? Is this because of this one experience? Or this really works for me? Why does this work for me? Oh, you know what? I noticed that when I do this and this, I flourish, I do good. But when I'm like this, again, I'm just realizing with my schedule, like it's changed how I'm like, oh my God, I need accountability outside of myself, because if I get like this, then I could be that girl that did a million things.
Yeah.
You know?
And you probably would have, I beat myself up so much because there's so many things that have been unfinished in my life. And I don't know if it's also because I just who I am. I've been undiagnosed ADHD as like, with some things. But I don't finish a lot, and I am so mad at myself. Like, even, you know how many times I tried starting a podcast?
Right.
You know how many times I tried starting a swim line or a clothing brand or this or that? Like,
but I get bogged down in the little things, and it burns me out. I have more sympathy on myself now, realizing why I didn't finish it. I was like, oh, didn't have structure.
Yeah.
And I need, now if I do something, I'm like, you know what? I need this kind of person to balance me, because I can't do this. Or even in this right now, I've noticed, I'm like, oh, I need to hire certain things out, because otherwise, if I get trapped in doing this, I'm not my creative. I'm not in the part of it that I like, and then I don't want to do it anymore, and I won't, and I'll just look for the new thing that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
So just learning the things that make you tick, and that has been so big in the last months of just, it's good. That's why you go back and you
it's like I'm just evolving, and I'm trying to take all of this stuff in the past and actually
and see what you needed. Like, what do I feel?
who I am.
Like, what do you feel that you didn't have? And
Yeah.
then be like, okay, so
What's missing?
You can give that to yourself now.
And I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that I finally, this podcast, this episode really, it dug in.
Yeah, there was the things I didn't, when I was first doing the younger self, I was like, oh, I didn't have anything. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, actually.
All versions.
Yeah.
I love all the versions of me. Trust me, there have been things that I regret. There have been things that.
There's 26 and 20. Right before I had Liv was very dark times.
See, I've had some dark times, but I learned so much. I think I learned the most in those times. And it made me really figure it out on my own.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I go back and think of is if I went back and told myself this, I'm like, will the lesson actually stick? There's only been one lesson that took way too fucking long to learn, and it was about men, of course. I think that's the one thing that's where I'm like, oh, I have regret. Some lessons were just so obvious. Like, bitch, why are you taking so long to learn this lesson? He don't want you.
Yeah.
Like, you proved it. It's not gonna change. It's been years, girl. He's gonna keep being this way. He can, if his saying "I love you" and then it doesn't match with the
Nothing
action.
changes. It's just
why does the word hit you so hard, but the action is just.
And we think we can just change something.
I don't think that I really didn't listen to actions. My thing that I finally learned was listen to the action, don't listen to the words. But I love words. I write poetry. I wrote music. I won poetry contests I had published when I was young. I love words. It's my words of endearment.
So
telling
anytime
me you love
they
me,
would
telling me
that,
I'm cute, telling me I'm this. I'm like, every time I went to him, that man talked me up. He would take me to places and introduce. I've met so
Why
many.
wouldn't you?
Girl, but I've met world leaders and presidents and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh, here's Lexi. She's a genius." What? Yes. If you know how many people stupid Trump. He told Trump I was a genius. He's telling me. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, he knows this, but then his actions don't show me that. It's you can perform it and say it. So then I really internalized the words of it. And I wish I would have got over that.
I think
sooner.
that you're really good about that now, because now, girl, I've seen you recently be like, yeah, this ain't working.
Yeah.
This isn't, I'm not feeling this.
It's 13 years or it's long.
And you don't even get upset. You're just like, it's just not fitting into where I want it.
This is really nice. I like you as a person, but this is what I need, and you can't provide it. And
it feels good to just,
And you know what? Maybe that 13 years is why I learned it and I don't have resentment in it. Because, you know, like people are like, oh, you know, be happy with getting less than me or get happy, whatever. I'm like, no, I actually do wish you're happy with whatever because we're just not aligned. I don't have any animosity when it doesn't work with people anymore. I'm just like, oh, I'm not your person. You're not my person.
So you've grown from that. There's no animosity.
I've grown. I've grown.
You've grown. So that
she learned
20-year-old
something, I
Lexi is
guess.
just like, ugh,
She learned something, I
she
guess.
learned something.
I like it. She was bold, though.
So
Yeah.
before we go away, what is one thing that you still implement into your everyday life or your life that you've always done since your little self?
Keep trying. Well, sometimes I don't finish the things I want to do, but I'm not scared to start stuff and try new things. And I never thought, I'm scared to fail a little bit sometimes. I do get a little bit of anxiety of having to launch, but I'm not scared of being like, this isn't working and getting rid of it. And I like that though, because coming here, I recently started talking to people that are more corporate and, you know, in corporate and in college. It's like the people that do follow the path of go to college, get a corporate job and do that. It's very much structured. And so I'll tell them, okay, I'm going to start this. And they're like, wow, I'm going to start a podcast. And I do it. And, you know, even when you said you're going to do a podcast, people are like, oh, it's like a show. It's like something that you're doing. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, you did it. And I'm like, yeah, I never thought that I wasn't going to do it. And they're like, that's crazy that you just decided that you're just going to do something.
And you did it.
And so I love that about me. And I hope I always do that, where I'm just like, if
can
someone
tell,
else is
though.
doing it, I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't have a doubt in my mind that I can't do it. And then I hope that I always keep with that.
I think the one thing with you, though, is you can tell when you're under pressure.
What do you mean? In what way?
Like you get quiet.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, I gotta lock in.
You lock it. Yeah, you're very like, so I can always read you with that in that way. But I love that about you because you're so determined. And when you lock in, like, look what it landed us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, like, I even couldn't do over the past 6-7 months because I had a 2-year-old up under me 24/7. And so just to see you lock in and you birth this podcast, it just shows you, you know, and it's growing and it's gonna, and it's all becoming. And that's what I love so much just about our older selves. Because yes, that little girl is still in there and we still are that sometimes.
Yeah.
But we are some badass bitches right now who have went through it. You live and you learn, as cliche as that sounds. But there is someone out there that is your younger self. And they're going to hear this. They're going to listen to this. And just know that, you know, you're not behind. You're not off track. You're just becoming. And I think that's important. And
don't be so hard on you. Don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah, don't be hard on yourself.
And you can't know what you don't know. And I think the biggest thing is once you know something, you don't go back and judge your past actions from how you acted because you didn't know, but you know now.
Yep.
So don't regret the past. Apply it to the present and keep it for the future.
And be sure, please, if there's anything that we can apply to help our adult selves in what we're doing now. Anyone out there in our community, we want to hear, is there anything that you relate to in this message? Is there anything that you want us to hear about? Drop it below, share, like, comment. We want to hear what you think. So until next time.
Bye.
Bye.